What's up guys, Willie Coltrane here. We're in the garage today. Well, for right now while I do this intro. What I'm going to do today is build that, except nicer. I needed a way to stand up my motorcycle. I had some scrap wood. I pieced it together. It works great, but it looks like crap. So what we're going to do is actually make something, plan it out. This was like done in 20 minutes or so on a Saturday because I needed to change my bike oil in the garage with some leftover stuff that I had. Today we're actually going to make one of these for my father-in-law who has a bike with a similar front wheel, so it should be pretty much the same. But we're going to do it nice and, you know, make some metal pieces and stain the wood and all that kind of stuff. It's going to look great. Alright, so here's the plan. This one's going to be made out of 2x4s that I went and looked through the lumber yard for to get kind of the better looking ones. It's not like super nice exotic wood, it's just regular old 2x4s, but it's going to be way nicer than the one over there. So here's the plan. This is all going to be this metal plate. I think I'm going to make a little Harley emblem out of some more metal plate, and then all this like dark stuff is going to be actual metal brackets, and then this is all going to be wood. And here's kind of a 3D version of it. So basically it's just two L-shaped pieces of wood with some legs and some bolsters, and they're all going to be tied together. It's going to look nice, I think. So that's the plan. Alright, so what I'm going to do is put an angled cut on the 4 boards that make the wheel clamp. What I'm going to do is cut an angle on the edge here so that there's kind of a funnel effect when I go to roll the bike into the clamp. If I'm not quite center or whatever, it'll kind of push it all toward the middle and get it lined up. What up if I plugged it in? What I've done is marked out all of my brace pieces. I'm going to make them all the same length. They'll be 14 inches on the long side. And so what I've done is used my speed square and marked off all the 45-degree angles. And then what I've done is gone along the side on both sides and marked it down, because what I'm going to have to do is, instead of trying to change the angle of my saw each cut, I'm going to flip this thing over to make all my cuts on the same setting on the saw. They'll all be 45s. I have measured about an 1/8 inch long on each piece to accommodate the saw blade. Alright, so there it is all mocked up. That's what it's going to look like. So what I'm going to do is work on brackets, drill some holes, and we're going to stain, put it all together. That's going to be it. This gap here, for those of you that are wondering, on my Harley Davidson, it's a 2000 wide glide. It's got a narrow 21-inch front tire with a stock Harley Dunlop tire on the wheel. I set this up at 3 inches. This gap here, 3 inches and 7/8. 3 7/8 right there. I did check. My father-in-law is running a Michelin Commander something, Pro Commander or something like that tire on his. It will fit. The size on that is a 90/90/21. Mine's an MH90/21. That's just the difference between the alphanumeric and the metric sizing. So yeah, those of you that are wondering, that should, don't take my word for it, but that should work for a 19-inch front tire, stock Harley front wheel and tire combo. But you need to measure and check before you make one of these. But yeah, is it built to hold your bike up in extreme, you know, you're putting a whole bunch of like torque and stuff on a certain fastener or whatever? No. This will hold your bike up when you wash it, when you do your simple oil changes, any little kind of thing. If a hurricane blows through, I don't guarantee this thing to hold your bike on. And I'll put the bike up in it at the end of the day, at the end of the video. So yeah, there we go. Little metal brackets. So what I'm going to do is with these little, I don't know what they're called, whatever, I'll think of the word here in a minute. Basically just attach them. I'm going to put a bend in these so that they sit at the right angle to fasten these bolsters to the actual frame. Before I do that, I'm going to countersink these holes. Probably should So here's what the two halves look like, pretty much assembled. There's going to be a cross piece down at the bottom, or a big plate that kind of covers the bottom, and then I'll do a cross piece up at the top. Correction, now that's how it's supposed to look. So what I did is I had this part being the top and this part being the bottom, and basically I had to pull all the sides off, flip them around, put it all back together, because I need the short side can be the top, but the long side needs to be the bottom. So now it's back together. All the steps are the same. Everything works pretty much the same. I just do the short side. I've got that about 18 inches tall, and the bottom side's about 24 inches. So that's really important. The other stuff, it works exactly the same.